Hello everyone, this is Kevin Wilson from Dining on a Dime with actor Peter DeFeo. I just want to introduce our listeners to a show that we do. It's our second show. It's the sister to our Dining on a Dime. It's called Learn About World Cuisine. And what we do is we take a different country each week. And what makes our show better than most travel shows is that not only do we give you the research from the country, but our man right here, Peter DeFeo, actor, Sopranos, American Gangster. Peter gives you his real life experience in the country. Anybody can go to Wikipedia and give you research on a travel show. Peter gives you his real life experience in the country. Peter, talk to our listeners about your experience traveling. You've traveled the world. Our Italy show, you're getting high praise. Talk to them about that.
Hi, how you doing? Yes, I've been to 69 countries throughout the world, and I've been all through Asia, Africa, Americas, all through South Pacific. It's been awesome. Australia, you name it. I've been to a lot of places.
And we just finished recording a show outside, which about Haiti. I want you to talk about our Italy. If you guys go to PhillyRestaurantReviewsWithAnS.com, the link to our iTunes and the link to our show is right there. You can listen to all our shows. Talk about Italy. You did such a great job on Italy that we actually got tons of feedback on. Talk about your experience traveling Italy. You're like an expert.
Oh, I've been to Italy so many times. The first time I won a trip to Italy, when I got back, I had won a trip back again. And I've been to Italy so many times, I've lost count. I've been to every part of Italy, north, south, also Sicily, but we haven't talked about Sicily.
Well, we'll get there.
One of these days we'll do a Sicily report. But Italy is, of course, my father's country, and it's a hometown. These people love Georgia.
Yeah, they do. We had so much noise during that Haiti show.
Still shooting like this. They want to say it. They want to get on it. But it's been the world traveling is great. The people, to meet all these people from all different countries is an experience that everyone should have at one time. People are loving, are the same everywhere.
And people are loving your input on our show. Our show has gone from barely any listeners to now our show is one of the most popular shows because people love Peter's input. They love your stories. I'll give you an example of how Peter benefits our show. I've heard of tea time all my life, since I was a little boy, about tea time. If you go to listen to our British food show, Peter actually tells you what it really is. Because we're always taught it's tea time, you get the two teacups, this, that, and the other thing. Peter talks about what it's like in England during tea time, and it's a fascinating input. We've done shows about Greece. We've done the Italian Riviera, the French Riviera. We've done Samoa. Talk about, remember we had a show where you said that there's certain areas of the island that you really don't want to travel to, that they steal cars, etc. I mean, that's the kind of input that Peter's giving. Talk about some of your favorite spots that you have traveled to.
Oh, God, I just love traveling. The Caribbean, the Society Islands. You go there and you go in and Moorea, Raiatea, Bora Bora, Tahiti. Bora Bora, Tahiti is something that everyone should go to if they have $10,000.
And it's one of our most popular shows.
Yeah. Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's in our top 3.
It was awesome. They were shooting a movie at the time, and they wanted me to be in it, but I had to get back to the United States. There's just so much going on in the world. People that sit home and cannot afford to make these trips, I feel so sorry for them. It is something that in a lifetime everyone should experience.
And that's what you get from our show. Peter gives you his real life input. So we've had a lot of feedback from people saying sometimes it feels like I'm there. You know what I mean? And it's not just for travelers. Our show is for people, home cooks like to listen to our show to get some food ideas. We have people that wish they could travel to Bora Bora that listen to the Bora Bora show. That is the world-famous Philadelphia Art Museum right in back of you, right in back of Peter. That is where Rocky ran up the steps. Peter, if you were to recommend one spot besides Bora Bora, what would it be?
I love Tokyo. Hong Kong is fantastic, but I haven't been back to Hong Kong since the Chinese took over.
Okay.
They were really afraid of it. It was fantastic.
And our Tokyo show did great.
Did it? Yeah.
Yeah, it's in our top 5.
Tokyo's.
And that's the home of the 2021 Olympics, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's the largest city in the world. The people are so friendly. I asked someone to go to Old City, which is about 600 miles south of Tokyo, and the guy said, "I take you." and he took me to 600 miles on a bullet train.
Wow.
The people I met there are still writing me letters, and we communicate. Very, very nice, friendly.
And we just want to make sure everyone knows you can go to Philly Restaurant Reviews with an S.com, and the link to iTunes and the link to our main platform is right there. All you got to do is click one link, listen to our show. We're also available on all podcast platforms, including Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon Music. You can go home and tell your Alexa device, play, learn about world cuisine, and our show will pop up. Go home to your Amazon listen device, Alexa, play Dining on a Dime. You can hear both shows. Peter, what would you recommend if someone can't afford to go to the places we talk about? Our show is every week, by the way. Is there any travel tips as far as saving money that you know of? I mean, you gave some good travel tips on our French Riviera show. You're sent to save money, right?
Right.
So what tips would you give? Is there a certain website that you use? Or
East Coast, and even somewhat on the West Coast, like let's say you want to go to Orlando.
Okay.
Disney World. Or Key West, which is something that's really different.
Yeah.
Going on. You could drive there.
Okay.
You could get in a car and drive. I've driven to Florida in one day.
Wow.
With my family. We drove all the way down. And, there's so much to see in Orlando.
Right.
In the Orlando area. You go east and you can see where the rockets take off and the Rocket Museum and everything else.
And our show is called Learn About World Cuisine, but we also give you tons of information about the actual country. What about the food, Peter? I mean, I'm sure, what would you, if you were to pick one place for food, where would you go?
I like a variety of food.
Okay.
And, of course, I'm more of a vegetarian. Even though I do eat a chicken, every now and then I eat a lot of fish.
Right.
Sardinia is a place.
Oh.
If you want to really go for healthy food, they have the longest longevity in the world.
How about that?
More than China.
And you were telling everybody our Tokyo show, you said Tokyo is a great foodie place. How about that?
Oh, yeah. The Asians and the Japanese, they live pretty long. They're very intelligent.
And the show is called Learn About World Cuisine. You can follow us on Facebook, Learn World Cuisine, and see every show. Go to Facebook and go to Dining on a Dime with the number 1. You'll hear every show. But the best place is Philly Restaurant Reviews with an S.com. And I have the link to our iTunes link, and I have the link to our main platform, and you can listen to it anytime. Just click that one easy link. Tell the folks what you want them to know about your experience.
Well, it's been a great life.
Right.
I love it. I'm glad I did it when I did it, because today it's kind of fearful to travel. There's been so many problems. I see Boeing is being sued. The government wants to bring some suits against because the airplanes are falling out of the sky. A lot of scary things have been happening. Like the 220 disappeared. There's just a lot of craziness in the world today. But travel by car. There's a lot to see in America. You don't have to go to all these places. There's an awful lot to see. Washington and the mall in Washington is great. Pennsylvania has Harrisburg, has Gettysburg. There's awful lot in Pennsylvania to see. New York, it's awesome world as soon as this pandemic stops.
Okay.
There's an awful lot of traveling to do right here in the United States.
And like I said, any travel show can go to Wikipedia and tell you info. Our show is better than the other shows because Peter's been there. I mean, you have given some inside info, inside baseball, as you will, of some of the spots that we've covered that we're getting feedback from people saying, wow, I didn't even know that. Thank you for letting us know that, because I have a trip planned, you know what I mean? And now I know not to go go into certain areas, etc. So once again, learn about world cuisine. Go to Philly Restaurant Reviews with an S.com and click the link. Thank you, Peter.
My pleasure.
All right.